all out of love? Yeah, and I'm so lost without you. Yeah. Hey everybody, Jeff Stone here with another episode of MagicReviewed.com. Today we are taking a look at All Out Magic by Steve Shufton. And what you get, that's a little plastic cover there, so let me move that so we get no glare. And that is cardstock there and cardstock on the back. And then it's 45 pages. It's 8.5 by 11 standard sheet of paper here in the United States. And you get also some special little thingies here, some cards there that will come in handy. The whole thing together, $45. And you can get it from Steve's website, shuftonmagic.com. I think that's the correct URL. It's there. It's down in the product description and everything. So what are you getting? First, let's talk about the effect. The best way I can describe this is sort of if 5-Star Miracle and Open Prediction had a love child, you would get this. And this love child, as is the hope of all children, is better than its parents, right? There are some things like, for example, 5-Star Miracle uses a gimmick deck. This does not use a gimmick deck. There are things with the Open Prediction that are different here as well. And, depending on your perspective, I say some may be an improvement, some may not. The bottom line is this. The deck is ungimmicked. It can be given away to keep at the end of when you're done with the performance. It is clearly shown and spread. The spectators can look at it. You then pick it up and mix it. And then you hand the deck to the spectator and you let her deal cards face up, genuinely stopping whenever she wants. There are no duplicate cards or anything like that. She stops whenever she wants. And when she stops, you then open up your prediction. It's been sitting on the table the whole time, by the way. You can even tell her beforehand, here's a prediction, set it down right there. And it's on the table. And now this is where things change. For the most part, that procedure of dealing is the same for all versions in the book. It's the reveal that's slightly different depending on which version you want to do. One reveal is you have in this little envelope, which is ungimmicked, by the way, a little playing card, a single card. And then you pull it out of the envelope and you show, again, the envelope is not gimmicked, right? There's no switches or multiple cards or anything. It's really one card. You show it out and it matches the card that she stopped at. That's one option. Another option is you have a second deck that you spread the deck face down and there is one card in the spread that has an X on it. There are other ones where you spread a deck face down and there's only one reverse card. So different variations. But there's also other ones that he suggests that maybe use some sort of standard ways that you might think you would do something like this. I'll just leave it vaguely like that. But that's the basic effect. A mixed, and you can even, there is a way to do this with a borrowed deck, by the way. I mean, the deck certainly can be borrowed from the perspective of it's not a gimmick deck, but it just takes a minute to get things ready once you borrow the deck, if you know what I mean. So the effect, normal deck, examined, mixed by the magician, handed to the spectator. She deals the cards face up, stops whenever she wants. When she stops, then you show your prediction that's been there the whole time to match the card she stopped on. That's the effect, and it's solid. So what's the method? Well, I'm not going to tell you the method, obviously. I will just say this. For the most part, this is stuff that you will be very familiar with conceptually. Now, Steve has combined some things and tweaked some things and added some things that make this method way more deceptive, way more clever, and way more just baffling than any versions of anything like this that you've seen before. So the method is solid, and there are some versions that use the cards that are supplied with the book. There are other versions that don't require those. But either way, you have with this book everything you need to do this, or you probably have, sitting in your magic drawer, one of the things you might need. But that's if you choose to do that variation. When all is said and done, this method is completely solid, and the variations of it are solid. The whole thing is just very well thought out, very clever, and very baffling, for sure. Okay, so that's effect, that's method. Let's talk about product quality.
But for now, for your customer's sake, for your daughter's sake, you might want to think about buying a quality product from me.
This thing is, there's no pictures in it at all, but there doesn't need to be. The closest thing to a picture is, I'm going to see if I can quickly find it here. There's a template in here, and I'm not going to find it. But it's a template for just making another, this little black thing is a little, it's like basically an envelope with no flaps. It's just a little sleeve. It's not gimmicked in any way, and it can be given out to look at or whatever, but the dimensions of it are important. And so if you want to make another one, or if that one wears out over time, you can just photocopy the one from the book and make one out of, cardstock or whatever, and you've got the sleeve that you need. So that's the only image in the book, and again, you don't need it. The book is so well written, so clearly written, and so concisely written that it's perfect. You really don't need anything but the text. It was easy to read. It took me like 2 hours to read the whole thing, if that. I read it in two about 1 hour sittings. Again, it was a joy to read, and it was fun to see the progress and all the different variations you could do with this. And normally when I read a book, typos and grammar and structure and syntax things sort of stand out to me. I'm a web programmer and a coder in general, and you have to be trained to see stuff like that to find problems in code. And so whenever I read, that stuff jumps out at me like a sore thumb. Not a single instance of that jumped out at me in this book. I'm not saying there are no typos or anything, but I didn't see any. Again, I don't normally look for them. They just sort of stand out, but none that I saw. So, product quality, solid, excellent.
Excellent!
Finally, ad copy integrity. This is going to be funny. This is my second take on this video, and in the middle of recording the other video, I got an email from Steve. I'm getting an email from Steve right now. I thought I turned this on airplane mode. So I stopped the video and looked at the email, and in the video, in the email, he said that he read my comments about the ad copy, and he agreed and appreciated that, and he changed the ad copy, which is excellent. So now the ad copy is 100% solid as well. There is a lot of hype in there, and there's about 18,000 testimonials in there. Whatever they say, whether they say it's the most amazing thing or the worst thing ever, I tend to ignore those in ad copy because that's just somebody's opinion about how great the trick is. What I want to know is, what does the creator claim the effect is and what you're getting when you buy the product. And as far as that goes, solid. So ad copy, excellent. And when we're done with this review, or this video, I'm going to go edit the text so you'll never see my rant about the ad copy. So I think that's everything, folks. If you are the kind of person that either uses cards in any way, whether it's mental magic, mentalism, magic tricks, casual stuff, whatever, this is an excellent, excellent thing that I think you'll actually use. Now, there are a couple of different alternatives he gives you where he just kind of casually mentions, hey, you can do it with tarot cards, and here's kind of how you would do it, and a couple other things. And then he also talks about there are one or two different routines where there's a teeny bit of risk, but he addresses that with a variation that eliminates all of the risk, completely gets rid of it. So there's nothing. I mean, this is it genuinely. She deals, literally stops whenever she wants, and literally the card that's on the table that's been in your little envelope or whatever matches the card she stops on. It's incredible. Bottom line, $45. You get 4 special cards, a little envelope thingy, and a really clever idea with a bunch of variations on it for $45. That's it. Final verdict, stone status. What am I talking about? Final verdict, 5 stars. Stone status of gem. The end. So let's get to the real reason why you listen to these videos or watch these videos, and that is random iTunes song of the moment, which today is delayed. Oh yeah, Dancing in the Dark by Lilac. I'm going to forward it so you can hear her voice. This band, Lilac, they started out as a cover band, and they're a family of 5 members, and they're all siblings. And the drummer and the lead singer are the 2 sisters, and then the brothers are keyboard, bass, and electric guitar. They are incredible. They used to perform live when they were like 13 or 14 years old down at the Santa Monica Pier doing covers of metal bands. Like the one that kind of went viral on YouTube was Crazy Train. But then they started writing their own stuff, and holy cow, their own stuff is incredible. But I'll tell you this, her name is Melody, and she is the female embodiment of Ronnie James Dio. She is the female version of his voice. It's incredible. And in fact, one of the members of Sabbath or of Dio's band, I don't remember which one, it might have been the same because there's some crossover there, said that she, her nickname, started calling her, instead of Melody, they started calling her Melodia, as in, or Melodio or something like that, as a joke, that she was like the female version of Dio. She covers several Dio songs: Holy Diver,
Holy diver,
Rainbow in the Dark,
like a rainbow in the dark, just a rainbow in the dark,
Last in Line,
last in line.
and a bunch of others.
The world is full of kings and queens, who blind your eyes and steal your dreams. It's heaven and hell.
Her voice just is incredible. Their latest album is called Madness, and it's just so good, man. It's so good. Anyway, sorry, that's a longer ramble than I normally give about the music, but check out the band Liliac. By the way, that's Romanian for vampire bat, which, how cool is that? Liliac, today's random iTunes song of the moment, Dancing in the Dark by Liliac. That's it for this one today, folks. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time when we get to this one, Deep X by Paul Harris Presents and Paul Knight. That's next. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you. Peace out.